Hi, we're Vivek?
Vivek.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Dyslexic.
It's okay. It's an unusual name.
Yeah.
Vivek. Rhymes with steak.
You're the writer of the fifth Beatle.
I am indeed.
And you've turned a graphic novel. When you think of that, I would think it's a book, but it's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go that route?
Yeah, so, it was important for me to tell not just the facts of the Brian Epstein story, but the poetry of the Brian Epstein story. And what I mean by that is, when I discovered the story, I was a Beatles fan, and I was dreaming about working in entertainment. So I thought I should learn the business of the Beatles. They were the group I thought that wrote and rewrote the rules of the pop music business.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, how did Brian get them a record deal when no one had ever had, when every label had turned them down? How did he convince Ed Sullivan to book the band when a British band had never made an impact in the United States? How did he package and present them with the suits and the haircuts? I wanted to know those facts, those historical points. And I uncovered them, and they're wonderful, they're inspiring. But it was the human side of his story that really struck a deep chord for me that I honestly wasn't even initially looking for. But he was gay at a time where it was against the law to be gay. He was Jewish at a time of pervasive anti-Semitism, and he was from Liverpool at a time where Liverpool had no cultural influence.
Yeah.
So I think of Brian in a lot of ways as the ultimate outsider, and telling that side of his story, the human side of his story, is what was really important to me. And I felt that the graphic novel medium would allow me to tell that quite literally through art, and I feel that the and Andrew Robinson's artwork is breathtaking. And I just feel like that medium allowed us to get into the poetry of the Brian Epstein story, and that's the best way I could think of putting it. And I guess, on a simpler level, I just love comics. I grew up reading comics, and I've always wanted to do one, and this one made sense to me. So,
well, I love it because it's a combination of two of my passions. I call myself a dork rocker because I love music and comics and animation, so it's pretty cool that I have it all combined. Would you do another band or anything for a graphic novel? Or?
I do have a few other graphic novel ideas, and music is my first love. All my projects have some musical core to them. So all my other comic and graphic novel ideas are steeped in music, but I will tell you that they're not. None of them are biographical in the way that this one was.
Okay.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a huge labor of love for me, but we've been working on it for 10 years, researching it for 20. I don't know that I can do another one.
Yeah.
I'd like the next one I do to be a little more fictional, so I can.
It's so that you had a lot of access to more material than anything before. And for me, growing up, my dad and I always listened to Beatle Brunch every Sunday.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, they know everything there is about the Beatles. Did you find something that you had no idea before?
I mean, the Brian Epstein story in general is a largely unknown story. Most of the research I did for this, I did through interviews because there was no other way to do their research. I was on Beatles Brunch, and
oh, really?
Yeah, and there was a lot of stuff about Brian that they didn't know because nobody knows this stuff. Nobody knew it until I sat down with Nat Weiss and Sid Bernstein and some of these people who knew Brian deeply and intimately, and then over the years that I've been doing working on this, they became friends and they slowly opened up to me. And a lot of the stories that I learned, a lot of the research that went into this were stories that nobody heard before.
Yeah.
And that's part of why this project was so exciting for me, was to uncover these stories and find them such inspiring stories. Stories that really have changed my professional life and inspired my personal life, and that's why I wanted to share it with the rest of the world.
Cool, and it's being developed as a feature film right now.
Yes.
So.
I am adapting it into a film myself. I've written the screenplay,
nice.
and I'm very proud to say Bruce Cohen is my co-producer. Bruce is amazing. He won the Academy Award for American Beauty, was nominated 2 other times for Milk and Silver Linings Playbook. Peyton Reed is directing.
Nice.
He directed Yes Man, The Breakup, and Bring It On, and Down with Love. He's incredible. And we have the approval of the Beatles. They signed off on our script and have allowed us to do a deal with Sony ATV, which is a long-winded way of saying I have access to Beatles music for the film,
that's good.
Which is amazing. Took me 3.5 years to get that, but we got it.
Yeah.
We are the first film about the band, first biographical film in history to have gotten music rights. So we're very proud of that, and we're casting.
That's cool.
We're casting Brian right now. I hope in a couple months I'll be able to tell you who's playing Brian, and we'll have a shoot date, and it's just very exciting times for us.
Okay, so in the meantime, where can people pick up your graphic novel?
Thank you for asking. It is wherever books are sold, as they say. Comic shops, certainly, and online, it's everywhere. It's at Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, IndieBound. We do have a website at fifthbeatle.com where there's a storefront that can point you in a number of directions. And please follow us. We're on Twitter at @fifthbeatle, and we're very active on Facebook. and I do hope to have a lot of breaking news about the film in the next coming months. So please do keep your eyes on us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me. It's been great to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.